I want to tell you something about CNA caregivers job. So somebody came and asked me this question, and it's what I want to talk about. How many hours do you work in CNA, and how much did you get, or do you get? How is it like working in CNA, and how much do we earn? I'm gonna tell you about my personal experience in CNA. I've worked in a rehabilitation, and I've worked in an agency as a CNA agent. So I worked for 2.5 years, almost 3 years in CNA, and I'm here to tell you about my job as a CNA. So, uh, so full-time hours are 40 hours in a week, and some agents pay weekly, others pay every other week. So for me personally, I've been getting every other week, and every 1 hour. Uh, Initially, when I started CNA, I got $20. Then afterwards, I got $22, and another job was giving me $24, and there is adjustment fees like shift differentials. Like if you work overnight, you get additional dollars. You get like 25. Overnight is from 11 to 7. So a shift from 7 to 3, then from 3 to 11, then 11 to 7. Those are 3 shifts. And as per my contract, I'm working full time in my one job in a rehabilitation center. I'm working 40 hours full time. Every other hour is an extra hour, that is overtime. So for instance, in my job, which I do $24 per hour, every for 40 hours, how much do I earn for 40 hours? Let me show you here. For 40 hours, 40, how much do I earn? Times 24. So I make 900 in a week for 40 hours. For instance, if I make overtime of another 20 and another 20, let me write this one down. So this is 900. This is 960. This is 960. This is 40 hours, the full time. I can work in one job full time, then I can go and work another job full time if I decide. But in this kind of job, if I make overtime, I make more money because they give me 1.5. So this is full time. I make this when I'm working 24 hours per hour. Every hour, for example, in a day, if I make 7 to 3, those are 7 to 3, those are 8 hours. If I work 8 hours times 24, how much do I make? I make 190. If I do 2 shifts, that means I will times 2 is equal. I make 380. That is 16 hours of working in a single day. I make this. Some people can go on and make and work 16, 16, 16 accordingly. But in my case, in our case, we are talking about 40 hours. You saw 960. Now, if I'm to make additional hours, if you're to make If I work 40 hours, and what is a half of this? Half of this is divided by 2 is 12. So if I make 1.5, meaning I make 24 plus 12. This is 1.5. That is 36. And how much will I earn? Mm, sorry. Let me do it like this. Because if 1.5 of 1 hour, 1.5 of 1 hour is, if 1 hour I'm getting 24. So 1.5 means I will add 12. Meaning every 1 hour I'm making $36. So if I make 20 hours overtime, I will multiply it by 36. So meaning if I make 36, how much will I get? 720. So 720 in a week where I make 60 hours, that is not a lot of hours. Like I've worked for like 4 to 5 days and I have more extra 20 hours. That's like 5 days. Then I work extra days. I'm working 16. I'm going to show you how I can work and make 60 hours or 80 hours. So how much will it be? So it's this, add the 960. That is 1680. This is when I work 60 hours. 40 hours is in a week. This is 40 hours a full time. Then extra hours is overtime. And when you add full time, it has got me 960, and overtime it has got me 720. So this is it. If I work 80, how much will it be? It will be 40 times 36. That is it. I'll make this, then you add the 960. No, sorry. It will be 40 times 360 times 360. This is it. 40 hours. If it's 40 hours, is overtime. I get this. Then you add the normal hours, which is 2,400. That's how you make good money as a CNA. You work more overtime and you make this money. Some of us prefer working less overtime and give more time to our families. But CNA is a tiresome job. In my recent video, I talked about it. So you can do this. Okay, for example, you're making $22. $22 times 40 is this. $22 is 880. Let me write it down. 880. Then overtime, you make 1.5, meaning you get 22 plus it's a half. It's a half is 11 plus 11. So you make $33. And if you work 60 hours, 33, if you work 60 hours, 40 hours will be full time. Then the other 20 hours will be overtime. So I will multiply this by the overtime of our 20. And then we work 66 plus 880. So you will be getting something close to this. That is $22. But all this money is with taxes. They will have to deduct the taxes. You see? So, so if you make like this, I will talk about taxes later. This is how much you can make. If you make 80 hours, let's go to that. 8 hours will be 40 times 33. This is when you work. This is overtime plus hour 808. When you work 40 hours overtime, you will make something 2,200. Now let me show you how they deduct taxes. Let's say they deduct 15% from this. From this 15%, so you're making 2,200. The more overtime, the more percentage of deducted taxes is. So, for example, they will deduct, you have made this and they're going to deduct 15%. So, 15% of 2,200, what is it? Let's say multiply by 0.5. That is the 15%. So, 15% will be 330. So, 330. So, 220, your weekly payment minus 330. How much will it be? It will be 1,870. So there is a percentage deducted. Then maybe they will deduct something called health insurance. They will deduct you $100 for your health insurance, and it will be, you'll get something close to that. So you will get 1,770. This is for hardworking CNAs. So that's how you make money as a CNA. Hope I've answered your questions. The more you work, the more you get. So how many hours you can work in a day? You can work 16 hours or you can work 8 hours. So in a day, let me talk about the day alone. Those who are working $22 in a day, it will be times 20 times. If you're working only morning shift, that is 7 to 3, it will be times 8 hours and you'll make 176. If this 8 hour, you have already worked the 40 hours and this is the day you're making only overtime, your 8 hours, instead of multiplying by 22, it will be multiplied by, it will be 33, 1.5. 33 times 8, and you will make something like 264. So within 8 hours you will be making good money, $364. That is within only one day. If you're making 24 hours, $24 per day, $24 per day, in only 8 hours you'll make times 8, you will make $192. If this is your overtime, you have worked 40 hours done, and now you are working on overtime, it will be, instead of 24, it will be 36. And it will be multiplied by 8 hours, and that will equal to $288 just within 8 hours, guys. Just within 8 hours, guys. So, just within 8 hours. So if you multiply, if you want to accumulate a lot of hours and dollars for one single day, you will work 16 hours. So those who will work less hours, like $22, if you say no more, If it's a normal day, like within those 40 hours of your full-time schedule, it will be normal pay. Then any extra overtime, it will be 1.5. So if it's your normal hours, the 40 hours, it will be 22. If you're making 22, you will be, and you're working 16 hours, it will be multiplied by 16, and you will accumulate 350. It will be tiresome for you, but it will be a lot of money at the end of the day. That's why they tell you that work more, gain more. At the end of the week, you're gonna receive your paycheck, and you'll be like, these people have really given me what I deserve. Because you work more, you get more money. If this is your normal 22 payment, if you work 16 hours within one day, and if they are all overtime, let's say like you have worked for over 2 days, like you have worked Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you have already done your 40 hours. Now Thursday, Friday, you wanna work some overtime, and on the Thursday you wanna take 16 hours. Maybe also the next day you will take 16 hours. Let me just tell you how you can work, may accumulate more money in only one single day when you're making overtime. It will come to 33 times 16, and you will only one single day you will make $528. Only one single day it will make $528. Now you will be like, let me transfer it to my country money. It will be what, like for Ugandans, 1.5. Only one single day. That's how you can accumulate a lot of money as a CNA caregiver. 588 $528. So if you can work in 2 days, you work 16, you just multiply times 2, and this will come to $1,056. Transfer it to your money, to your country money. Let's say Uganda times 37 times 366 dollars. How much will it be? Almost 4 million Ugandan shillings. Almost 4 million Ugandan shillings. For Kenyan money, it will be like 1 million. This is only for 2 days, and you have worked 16 hours. That's how far you will accumulate a lot of money just when it comes to CNA job. So guys, I'm here to show you how you can accumulate money as a CNA. Hope I've answered your question. If you have any more other question, just comment. Let's talk. Thank you guys for watching.